Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now assemble my super glider. So to assemble my super glider, what I'm going to do is go to New, and I want to go to my standard assembly. Once I have that open, as we stated before, we have our browser bar, which are footprints where we've been, and then we have our tools that we often use the most on the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to click Place, and then what I want to do is I want to open up my folder that has all the parts, and you want to verify that all your parts are in there. The only way this is going to work is if all of our parts are in that one folder. So what I'm going to do to start off is I'm going to open up the body. I'm going to roll the mouse a little bit to zoom out, and then I'm going to just left click. And now what this allows me to do is allows me to put as many bodies in that I want. Well, in this case, I only want one, so I'm just going to click OK. Next, I'm going to start off with my fins. I want to grab my fins. Now I built the part once, but I'm going to use 2 fins. So I clicked this. Now before we left click to place our object, what we want to do is we want to get the proper orientation. So as this is kind of just floating there, what I want to do is I want to rotate this along the z-axis, and you see the blue z-axis here. So I want to rotate it 90 degrees. Now what that will do for me is that will turn it so it's in the proper location. It's going to be facing this direction on our glider, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop 2 of these in. So I have one there, and then I have one here. I'm going to right click and say OK. Now we want to start to constrain our project. To constrain basically means we want to lock our parts together. In this class, we're going to use 2 constraints. We're going to use a mate constraint, or we're going to use a flush constraint. And just like the icons for the tools, it shows what it does. The flush puts the faces in alignment with each other. The mate, what that does is it puts the faces together. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to lock these parts together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a flush command. And you always want to go from the part to the body. You want to be careful. You might have to zoom in a little bit. And then what happens is once you click on the faces, you know, if I zoom really in close, you'll see there's a face here, and you'll see my arrow. And then what we have here is a face also. So those 2 faces are now flush. And then you want to click apply. The next thing I want to do is I want to mate this face of my wing to my body. And remember, and when you're done, always hit apply, and you always want to bring the part to the body. My last constraint, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flush this fin to this, and then I want to apply. And then I'm getting an error. Okay, so with that error, what happened was I wasn't paying attention. I still had that mate constraint on. So what I want to do now is I want to flush the bottom of this fin to the bottom of the vehicle. And now I want to apply it. So right now, that fin is together. If I grab this fin, the body and the fin move together as one. Without being constrained, I can just move the fin. So again, what I want to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing now, but with this fin. I want to click constrain. The other fin I started out with the flush, I'll do the exact same thing. I'm going to take and I want to flush this face with this face here. and then I want to apply it. Now, if I take a look at this, what happened was from this angle, those parts are in alignment with each other. Okay, so that works. Every constraint that I'm doing, I'm eliminating some freedom of that part. So again, I want to take and I want to now mate. I'm going to mate this face with this face here. And then I want to apply. And then my last constraint for my fins, I'm going to take and I want to flush this face here to this bottom of the super glider. And then I want to apply. So if we look at it now we have those locked in. Now I'm going to bring in my spoiler. So I want to go down and I want to grab my spoiler, see what colors I have here. Oh, I guess they're both blue. So I'm going to open it. Now I want to get the proper orientation. Again, right click. I'm going to rotate this on the Y-axis. And now I want to rotate this on the X-axis. So now I have this as the proper orientation. So I'm going to right click and say OK. So for this part, again, I want to go to Constrain. I'm going to start off with a flush command. I'm going to take and flush this back part to the fin, and then I want to apply it. Let's look what happened. If I look straight on, that's in alignment. If I look at it from the back, again, that's in alignment. So what I can do, now I can grab this. I can't move it side to side because those parts are flush together. So let's take a look at this. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to, again, click Constrain, and then I want to mate this face to the inside of the wing, or inside of the fin, and I want to apply it. My last constraint, I'm going to do a flush. I want to flush this top to the top of the fin. Apply it. Now let's take a look at what we have. Okay, so if I try to move it, everything moves together. Okay, so that's how you do the fin and the spoiler. Good luck.